welcome to Rockstar HQ. Lighting seems to be a little bit weird today, but hey ho, let's roll with it. Who is around? Who is about? It would be lovely, lovely, lovely to see who's joining me this Monday lunchtime to talk about whether size really does matter. Now, this could end up going anywhere, couldn't it? Could go absolutely anywhere. I might be a little bit clenched on this title. Does size matter? So, I nearly spat my coffee out there, said Judy. Always taking the important topics here at Rockstar HQ, giving them a good old wiggle and seeing what comes up. So let's hope that the stream is a little bit better than Friday, where it kept throwing me out. Victoria also nearly choked on a brew. Sorry, does size matter? Does size matter? Christina says, think I might have jumped onto the wrong live here. Maybe not. Claire says, size matter, clenched. Yeah, absolutely. We could end up going absolutely anywhere here. And I want to talk a little bit about size. Is it big or is it not so big? And I want to talk to you. How are you today, Mrs. H? I'm good, thank you, Judy. I want to talk about social, I want to talk about your list, I want to talk about your business, I want to talk about all of the stuff that's important to you and the size thereof. So, lots of people will say to me, oh, you know, it'll be all right when I've got a page that's this big, or it'll be all right when I can do this because I've got this many followers, or I can manage this because there's that many people around, or whatever it might be. And they're putting off actually getting on and doing their stuff because they're waiting for an increase in size. They're waiting for growth, and they're waiting for that size to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. If somebody comes on right now and I'm sat here like this is going to be really, really bad. So when it's like this, we'll do these things. Now, I know, and I work with lots of gorgeous rock stars, some of whom have small but perfectly formed social media list. They're potent. They're small but potent. You know, she was small yet fierce. And they have really built a great business despite not having a huge platform, which people would say that you need to have. You need to have a huge platform. You need to have this many hits. You need all of this engagement. You need. Now, engagement is a separate issue, and I really, really am passionate about engagement. And if you subscribe to my newsletter, this morning's newsletter was around engagement, and it was around you being able to get talking to your crowd. I also know lots of people who have got splendiferously magnificent, huge social media accounts and aren't productizing and profitizing from those accounts. So big is not necessarily better. Good one there. Big is not necessarily better. It's all about what you do with it. Its size doesn't matter. It's about what you do with it. So it's about making sure that you are engaging with your crowd, that you are connecting with your crowd, that you are finding that relationship sweet spot with your audience so that you are able to nurture your crowd into purchases, that you are able to nurture your crowd and truly support them and help them and be there for them and be around for them. The thing is that big isn't necessarily better. All right. And I see lots of people running after the vanity of how many likes can I get on this Instagram post? How many followers can I get on Instagram? How can I grow my page? How can I do this? How can I do that? How can I do the other? And actually, it will grow naturally and organically if you're doing the right things. If you are showing up and sharing your message with your audience, if you are making a true connection with them, if you are talking about stuff that is important to them, your page will naturally grow. As they start to interact with you, you look after them and serve the pants off those people. You don't need to be looking for what's next and what's more and what's this and what's that and having this constant grasp for something that's out of your reach and the big, when actually what you should be doing is facing the people that are there and looking after them in the biggest, bestest possible way that you absolutely can. So I know that lots of people will sit and they'll look on at other people within their niche, or they'll look at alternative niches and think, oh, you know, if I had a business that did this, then it would be really easy to grow it, or it would be really easy for me to, you know, to really start to serve the pants off my crowd if there was 10,000, 100,000, you know, whatever it might be, you know, that you've given that number to, then actually what you're doing is you're missing out on the people that you are there to serve. So Alison, the title got you. We're talking about whether we need a big one or we need a small one, and we've actually got to the decision that it's all about what you do with it. Size doesn't matter as long as you use it properly. So we could go anywhere, couldn't we? And I'm actually liable to go anywhere. So I'm probably going to have to sit on my hands so that I don't end up going down an avenue that I probably shouldn't go down on a Monday lunchtime. Anyway, it is about you making sure that you aren't putting off looking after your crowd until it's bigger. You aren't putting off doing that thing until your crowd is bigger. That you aren't saying, oh, well, I'll be able to do that when. That you're not holding yourself back in search of huge, when actually small, potent and dynamite is much better than big and disengaged, or the vanity kind of big, whereby you're getting the bots liking your Instagram post and you're getting hundreds and hundreds of likes on your Instagram post, but actually nobody really cares. So it's about making sure that you've got a relationship with your crowd whereby they give a shit. You know, that's important, that they give a shit about what you're saying and that you give a shit about them. Because you can just sit there and you can spout off and you can talk about whatever you want and you can hide away and you can make sure that you're doing this, that and the other, and you can decide that you'll do it when you're as big as whoever it is you're looking at. Or you can crack on and do it now. You can crack on and serve the pants off the audience that you've got. You can start to create the relationships with the audience that you've got. So if right now you feel like, you know, there might be a little bit of tumbleweed rolling through the connection between you, your crowd and your business, then actually now's the time to stop. Don't seek to grow something that isn't working right now. Seek on getting that working and working really, really bloody well, than, you know, than trying to grow something that actually is disconnected. Claire says, make no odds on what you do. It's always going to be hard work, but always looks like others are having it better than you. I've learned that I have to tend to my own garden. You really do have to tend to your own garden. And I did a post about this, I think it was last year, where I took a picture of my garden outside and I took a picture of next door's garden. And actually what they do at their garden is none of my business. And what they do to their garden has no impact upon my garden whatsoever. And what they do to their garden doesn't necessarily work in my garden. You know, it is about making sure that you're looking after your own stuff. And yeah, do you know what? Some sectors growth is easier, Claire. And some sectors it is easier to get eyes on the prize. Other sectors it isn't. And other sectors it is about looking at what can you learn from those sectors of rapid growth and apply it to your business, and what, you know, in your own way, not in a copying way. I do not in any way, shape or form condone copying. Copying is not in the slightest bit cool. But it's about looking at, you know, what's my version of that? How can I connect with my crowd in that way? What do I need to be thinking about in order to do that? Alison says, I love the idea of artisan boutique rather than high street anyway. And I think that the thing is that, you know, when we look at the high street, and, you know, I talked about retail at the weekend with a report that the BBC had put out, is that actually it doesn't matter whether you are high street big boys or whether you are artisan boutique. Retail is difficult for lots of people right now, but again, those principles apply. Stand for something. Make sure that you are actually sharing with your crowd your passion and why you do what you do and what is important. You know, these big faceless businesses, they don't have that ability to really stand for something. The big personal brands, they do stand for something. They have got a mission. Make sure that you've got your mission and you're sharing your mission with your crowd. Remember that your business builds one relationship at a time, one connection at a time, growing one truly nourishing for you and for them relationship within your business is absolutely what you need to be doing. It is absolutely about making sure that you are creating that connection with your audience, one person at a time, that you care about each and every one of those people that are coming to your platform, that you are serving the pants off them, that you're not holding back and keeping your best stuff for when you get more people coming into your audience, that you're actually looking after the people that are there, that you're truly supporting the people that are there, that you're talking about stuff that is relevant to the people that are there, and they will help you to grow your audience. They will recommend you. They will refer you. Their commenting on your posts will mean that other people in their circle of influence will see your page. It is about creating that one relationship at a time. I am all about the engagement. All about the engagement. You know, that is what is important to me. If I look at, you know, my stats, if I look at my numbers, if I look at, you know, the aim for green that we all have when we look at our Facebook page, I think I am predominantly green at the moment, but actually that doesn't matter to me. I shimmy straight down to the post engagement and the videos, and they are the only thing that matter to me, because that means that we're having conversations. That means that we're connecting. That means that I can help and support you. That means that my crowd are engaged and therefore interested in what I'm talking about. You know, we can go on and on and on and, you know, create something that's based on numbers, or that's based on, you know, bots reacting to certain hashtags or ways that we're working on Instagram. But that doesn't genuinely help anybody. That doesn't help you, because you've not created that relationship with them. So they're not lining themselves up to buy from you. They're not ready to take that next step with you. And it doesn't help them, because actually probably a lot of the time they're not even seeing what you're doing, and the robots are dealing with it, and it's just not happening. Emma P says, I had a look at another page's stats last week. Although my numbers are lower, my engagement on a percentage basis is better, so I must be doing something right. Well, the thing is, you can't compare. You can't compare apples to oranges. Your page will be very, very different to somebody else's page. Bigger pages are struggling more on the algorithm recently. If you've got a page over 10,000, you have got a very different ballpark to play in than if you've got a smaller page, and the algorithm is favouring the smaller pages, as it seems at the moment. But again, it's about making sure that you're looking at engaging with your audience. How can you get them talking to you? How can you take step by step that relationship to the next phase, to the next phase, to the next step? How can you keep on talking to them in a way that feels good for them, that allows them that feeling of safety, that means that they can come in and connect with you even more? And, you know, this is what I talked about in my newsletter this morning. Being able to take that connection and connecting a little bit more, and connecting a little bit more, and connecting a little bit more, because it's safe then for them to talk to you. It's safe for them to interact with you. It becomes easier for you to have that relationship with them. It's then a position that you can take growth from there. Once you've got that swinging, once you've got that relationship swinging, you can take that from there. Because, you know, when you come across a page that's active, a page that's got lots going on, whether that be here, whether that be Instagram, wherever that might be, because I know that a lot of people are absolutely shifting their social habits recently. And there is a big shift coming across this year insofar as social media is concerned. It's nothing to panic about. There'll no doubt be a whole shed load of scaremongering goes on around it as people's habits do start to change. But it's about making sure that your eyes are on you, and your eyes are on what you're doing, and that you're looking at, you know, what is a good percentage of engagement for your crowd. And, you know, think that naturally that the longer you've been around, you often also have that level of likes that remain on your page that aren't interested in what you do anymore, and that's okay. You know, there's not very much you can do about that. You can't really go off and farm off your likes in the same way as you can go, oh, well, no, but, you know, that person hasn't opened my email for 6 months, I can take them on my list. You can't do that with your page. But yeah, eyes on what you're doing, eyes on what works for you. Size is relative. Sometimes there's additional struggles that come with being bigger, and there's sometimes additional struggles that of being able to connect when you're bigger. But also, it's not just about chasing that number. It is not just about putting everything on pause until you get that number. You know, what would you be doing right now if there was 1 million people following your Facebook page? That's a really good question to journal around. If there was 1 million people following your Facebook page or your Instagram account or wherever it might be that you like to hang out on a business basis, there was 1 million people following you, what would you be doing? What is it that you would be doing? And why are you not doing it now? Because that will give you some real good kind of answers of things that you might be holding back on, or things that you might not be doing that you could be doing, or things that you might be a little bit scared of doing, or things that might be coming up for you in lots and lots of different ways. So it really is time for you to look after who's there, look after who's there, look after who's around, because that will allow you to grow massively. So, is there any questions that you would like me to answer? Anything at all that's coming up for you? In the meantime, I want to let you know that the class of Spring 2018 is forming in Spooky School right now. So if you are a spiritual entrepreneur, and what do I mean by that? If you are an entrepreneur who either has a spiritual business or who is very spiritual themselves and wants to bring an element or an increased element of self into their business, then this is the perfect place for you, because we work with soulful entrepreneurs, spiritual entrepreneurs who have very bespoke business needs. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sidestepping all of the icky tactics and strategy when it comes to business, and we are going to be looking at ways that you can employ a growth mindset and a growth strategy within your spiritual business, or as a spiritual person within your business. And the doors will be open for just over a week now, so it is really time to start to shimmy yourself over there if you are wanting to join. I am not going big sell on it, because that isn't what I do. You will know if it's for you. If that sounds like you, if you are a spiritual person or a spiritual entrepreneur with a spiritual business and you want to find out more, then I suggest that you click the link, go and have a read, and you will know, take a gut reaction on it, you will know whether or not it's for you. So, anybody want to ask me anything, anyone want to go through anything coming up for anybody in any way, shape or form, before I go and take the little doggy, who I don't know where exactly she is, but take the little doggy out for a little meander around and get her walked. Anything coming up for you? Anything that you want to chat about? So the answer is size doesn't matter. Each one has different challenges. Each one, whether big or small, has different benefits and different restrictions. Look after what you have got right now. Go and serve the pants off your crowd, because they are there for you and they want to hear from you, and you would be stealing from them if you did not share your mission, your message, your passion with the people who are watching you right now. So I'm going to let you all go. Have an absolutely blooming blessed Monday, and I will speak to you all really soon. Bye.